Hi, welcome to the Old Geezer Show on Saturday, the 21st of January 2023. Hey, one of the things that we're going to try and do with the show is to actually keep you up to date on some of the things that are happening that affect older people. And a story we covered a week or two ago, or an angle of a story we covered a couple of weeks ago, was about digital exclusion. Sounds impressive, doesn't it? What it actually means is that there are becoming a greater and greater number of services and authorities and organizations that you cannot reach unless you have the internet, unless you have a smartphone. It happens all the time and it is happening increasingly. And one of the areas where it's going to start happening more and more is on the railways. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about two things here. This particular article is about the railway problems, because what's happening with the rail strike is effectively that the train drivers are going on strike, as you know, about their wages and about the deal that they're being offered. They're being offered a single working, i.e. a driver, no guard scheme. But there's also another thing that's kind of bugging them as well, which is all the other associated bits. The thing that's bugging me is, having read this article very carefully in iNews, it transpires that the rail authorities are going to be, if this still goes through with the drivers' union, the rail authorities are going to be closing each and every one of the 900 and odd ticket offices that exist throughout the rail network. Think about that. Now, I went up to London to go to that demo on Thursday. And to be honest with you, I haven't been up to London on the train, I don't know, I guess for about 10 years. What can you say? And I went to the station I usually go to. I drove down to Brentwood, got down to the station. I had a problem parking because the parking meters, or there are no longer any parking meters. You can only check in through your smartphone or through an app. That's the only way you can actually pay for the parking. If you don't pay for the parking, you're going to get nailed for a fine. Good, isn't it? And anyway, I finally worked that one out and wandered across the crossing to the ticket office, where I was greeted by a really nice man. I assume he was of Asian or something origin. He was lovely. He was really helpful. And I got the ticket I wanted and off I went. Come back to that station if all this still goes through, and you will discover that you won't be able to do that. You'll have to fill in a machine transaction, complete that, and I think a lot of people will find it quite difficult. The alternative, the only alternative to the machine, will be the internet, so you have to pre-book a ticket. Now, that may be no problem for a lot of people, young people, middle-aged people, so quite a lot of older people. But there are 3 million people in the UK who don't actually have the damn internet, so they can't book their tickets on that. And I'm guessing that there's probably more than that number who find handling those ticket machines quite painful, awkward, difficult. Some people can't actually see properly to see the damn machines, and there are no alternatives. There's going to be no phones or anything like that. It's going to cut a lot of jobs, obviously, from the rail. But what will happen apparently is that a lot of people who were working in ticket offices will be given jobs as kind of roving staff. So they'll be able to help you maybe with the ticket machine. But the reality, of course, is they'll also be helping people who are on wheelchairs get their ramps out. They'll help people who have got problems with luggage. They'll have people who've got problems with all kinds of stuff. So what will happen is that effectively, if you're not up to snuff as far as using the internet is concerned, or using your smartphone, or if you have a smartphone, is concerned, and if your eyesight isn't particularly good, so you can't see the screen on the machine, you may not be able to travel as much on the rail. And let's face it, if you've got any of those problems, you're probably not going to drive a car. So rail is really important. And what we're doing with this particular piece of legislation, or this particular part of the package deal that the rail drivers are getting, is that we'll lose all those ticket officers, we'll lose all those helpful staff. And so us older people will be in the stucky. There you go. That's what we call digital exclusion for older people. I will remind you of the story we were talking about, or the thing I showed you, I think, before. Let's just get this one up if I can. Why can't I get that to come up? Don't know. I'll just get rid of that, and I'll get that. There we go. This is my local council. My local council now, if you can still use a coin machine, I'm very glad to say, for car parking. But if you want something like an annual ticket or a similar ticket, you have no choice but to go online. You cannot do a deal any other way. So this is what we call digital exclusion. Have you had any experience of digital exclusion? I wonder. Okay, and let's just get this gentleman. Who's this? Algernon Sargravy. I love it. Let's have a look at that. Here we go. Yes, we do. And I vote free voucher to get around what you talk of. Yeah, well, I think you're right. That could be an option. But having said that, I know that there is no government on earth who are ever going to do that. You know it. And I know it, I think, Algernon. I love the name. Okay, so there we go. That's that little gem. And I'm going to come back to digital exclusion every time we get a story that needs it, because I want to keep reminding people of this. And I think what we may do, actually, is, there we go. Oh, goodness me. Having a mad moment. What we may do is actually come back to digital exclusion as a story every time we do it. And I think what we may do from here onwards is actually look at doing maybe a petition about digital exclusion and see where that one goes. Who knows? We'll give it a try and see where we get with that. Now, some people, I have to say this very slowly and carefully because I think this is really important. Some people, their only social interaction in the course of a week is when they go into a shop or supermarket. That's a real condemnation of our society, isn't it? I think it's awful. But in Holland, there is a shop chain called Jumbo, a supermarket chain, who have actually started opening, or have opened, chat checkouts. It's got a Dutch name that I can't possibly pronounce, where you can go slowly. There is no rush. The checkout operator can sit and have a chat with you, as long as it kind of goes through on the normal way that a checkout goes. So, how you doing? Yeah, I'm fine. Blah, blah. You know, you can have a little chat, and it actually opens your social doors, if you like, for older people, because so many of us older people live on our own. We're in very limited environments where we don't talk to anybody from day to day. I think that is totally awful, and we need to do something about it. And this Dutch company has taken it on and is doing something about it. I find that incredibly good news. I don't know what you think. Have a look yourself. You can find, let's just get rid of that little underlay there. Yeah, you go. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I hate it. There we go. Let's just go back to that. And I just want to show you the website, because I've forgotten the name of the damn thing, of course, as one does. There we go. If you look at Good News Network online, you will find this story. And if you just search for chat checkouts and Holland, you will find it. So there you go. I recommend that one to anybody. I will put it in the comments on YouTube. I cannot do that on Facebook with the current rules, I'm sad to say. But there you go. So there's my two little stories for today. We're looking at, first and foremost, digital exclusion is going to hit every person who cannot use the internet, who does not have a smartphone, and is unhappy with using ticket machines to book a ticket on the railway. 900 odd railway booking ticket offices are going to close if the current deal on the rail drivers, the railway locomotive drivers deal goes through. That will happen. And if you want to use your rail and you have trouble with the internet, you have trouble with operating ticket machines, you're going to have a problem. Okay, and the same thing applies to parking and all the other things. Let me just quote you a little story. I've got a story I found, and I just want to, what's say? Okay, I just want to give you a little bit of detail on this because this is a classic of this kind of thing. We were talking, or I was talking about the struggle I had to get my parking ticket when I went to Brentwood. It took me 10 minutes to sort out what I was actually supposed to do. So someone actually exposed his dad's struggle to operate an online parking app while he parked for a friend's memorial service. He didn't know how to work the technology, and no one was at the end of a phone line to help. He was fined £100. And after this gentleman died a few months later, a debt recovery service was deployed to chase the debt. Do you know what? I think that's bloody awful, isn't it? And it's a true reflection of the way our world is working these days. There we go. Okay. Who have we got there? Marianne. Let's just have a look at what Marianne has got to say. Marianne Bowman. Those parking meters would freak me out. Glad I no longer own a car and have not been on a train since COVID. No one considers us older people anymore. On shops, we go to my local supermarket where they know us and we have a chat, and they're very helpful packing the groceries. Okay, Marion, it's good to know that you're getting some proper help, although it's sad to know that you can't travel in the way that you might want to. Once more, as older people, our choices are limited by the actions of the businesses and the organizations who actually essentially want our money. There you have it. That is today's little show. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you like it. Give us a like if you like it. Give us a love. If you're watching on Catch Up, then my greetings to you all. Have a great day. And as far as everybody else is concerned, the same applies. Have a terrific day. Do the stuff you want to. And above all, stay well, stay healthy. And for goodness sake, don't overdo things. Okay, there you have it. I'm just nipping down my screen and I'm going to say this is the Old Geezers Show. I'm Chris. Take care of yourselves and I will see you soon.